Take one. Blues News, Jim Lockett, Harrison Park. Wet, miserable, horrible, season over. But I must complete this feature. I'll summarise the season. New pitch laid last summer. I think he's played up pretty well. Maybe we could have got 1 or 2 more games on. But overall, I think we've got to be happy with that, with the new pitch. We lost nearly a full team last summer. People left, I'd say 8 or 9 players left. A team that got to the playoffs, a team that lost to Sutton Coldfield here. A team that I thought could have gone on to maybe achieve promotion together. But most of them left. Players like Chappers, Geordie, Esser, Sam Hall, Chadders, to name but a few, they all buggered off. Chadders came back, the grass wasn't as green. Good to have him back. Kazza, he had a massive rebuilding job. He did a good job. He slowly, bit by bit, piece by piece, he brought in new players. Some were good enough, some weren't. James Curley, he was good enough. He still is good enough. And hopefully he'll stay with us next season. James Askey, he wasn't good enough. But I wouldn't tell that to his face. Although if he's watching this, I'll be on the run probably. Pre-season last year went well. League Town TV starting to come into our own with a brilliant goal of the month feature. Tim Grice scoring an absolute Gaza-esque goal at Buxton. We had 2 cameras that caught it from 2 different angles. Great goal. That was a sign of things to come. And Tim Grice went on to score over 100 goals during the season for League Town and became our top scorer. I can't remember how many he finished on. I think it was about 27, 26, 27, 28. Someone put me right. Regardless, he was the top scorer. Alex Langridge, remember him? Langy? I interviewed him at Buxton. He said he was a one-club man and then he left. But we liked him, he was a good lad. Hang on. I've got a problem. Right, sorry about that. We'll carry on. Pre-season, first game was at West Didsbury and Chorlton, remember that? We won 4-2. Here's a good day out for me, personally. Niall Maguire scored a cracker. Ryan Grocott, he hasn't featured loads this season, but he scored a cracker at Borley Green on a wet, miserable Tuesday night. A bit like a wet, miserable Monday morning at Harrison Park. We went into October, we played at Deeping Rangers in the FA Cup. Lost 4-2 away after drawing down here. Blew it financially. That would have cost the club a few quid. An FA Cup run. Blown. Blew it. Although they had fantastic chips down in a place called Market Deeping. You don't get to places like Market Deeping under any other circumstances. And this is why non-league football is beautiful. The league form was steady. Wasn't outstanding, it was steady. I remember a 3-3 draw down here against Kidsgrove. It was a cracking match. It had a bit of everything. Controversy, red cards, little scuffles, James Curley having a scrap down near the tunnel almost. Love that kind of nonsense. 3-0 up though, 3-0 up. Yes, we might have had, things might have happened in the game that influenced it, but a 3-goal lead, always disappointing to blow a 3-goal lead, however you look at it, but it was a great game. November, Andy Wayne, the chairman, stood down. What was going on behind the scenes? Was there a little bit more to it? We won't ever really know, but the public stance always was just a reshuffle, just a change, getting tired with it. Might have been true. But days before, Matt Beebe stood down as the assistant. Was that a coincidence? We will never know. We will never know. Regardless, Johnny Eales came in. He replaced Andy Wayne. Johnny Eales, I think he's done a good job. I like John. I think he's a good geezer. Yeah. I think he'll take the club forward. Andy Wayne stayed involved. We mustn't forget that he was instrumental in a couple of international matches down here in March. England, there was over 3,000 or nearly 3,000 spectators. This ground's not seen that for many a year. So we must take my hat off to Mr. Wayne for that. November. Can you remember Hales Owen away in some dodgy cup competition? I can. I went over there. Lee Cropper, now he's a character. What a goal. We will be putting our goal of the season feature out there very shortly. Cropper scored an absolute cracker. Probably will be goal of the season. Well done, Mr. Cropper. We lost 2-1. And I got stuck on the A500 going home. There was a crash. It took me 3 hours to get back from Halesowen on a Tuesday night. That, ladies and gentlemen, is commitment. Or stupidity, I'm not sure. December, end of December. We won 1-0 away at Stafford Rangers. I missed it. I went to watch Stoke. What a result, though. Stafford Rangers, champions. Went into the new year, 4-0 away victory at Daventry stood out for me. A great day out. A few beers, on the bus, banter, chase the ace, all that nonsense. Great day out at Daventry. Enjoyed it. 4-1 home win at home to Colville. Another great result. Don't think I was there. Not their favourite person after their manager was filmed on the pitch using some choice words over at Colville. Not sure if Leek Town TV will be allowed back to Colville next season, but we will certainly try. We went into March, and I think I've got this right. Leek Town suffered 4 straight defeats. Lee Caswell, the manager, stood down, stood aside. The official line was he was tired, maybe a new voice needed, fresh impetus. Maybe he'd just had enough. That's what he told us. What I would say about Kazza, very, very straight talking bloke. What you see is what you get. He says it as it is, and I like that personally. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. He might, I would no doubt, upset 1 or 2 people from time to time. But you can't argue with the fact that he speaks his mind and he's an honest bloke. So he did a great job down here, Kazza, and hopefully he'll stay involved. But he stood aside, and Ant Danlick, assistant manager, who incidentally this season played his 400th game for Leek Town. Have I got that right? Not sure. But he is now the gaffer. He's the manager, Ant Danlick. Sent him a couple of messages to be interviewed. He's ignored them. Doesn't want to be interviewed. Ant, if you're watching, come on. The Leek Town supporters want to hear you, want to know what you've got to say, and so do we. He's a good bloke. I've met him a few times. Seems a sound enough bloke to me. I'm sure he'll do it. When they appointed Ant Danlick as manager, I was asked by a number of people, what's my opinion? I'll give you my opinion. Ant will have the respect of the players. Ant has done it. He's been there and done it as a player. I believe he can attract players at this level to this club. With that in mind, I believe he will do a good job. Was he my first choice? I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm a bit old-fashioned and I was like wanting a Leek person to run Leek Town. That doesn't happen all that much. Who would that Leek person be if that was the case? I wouldn't have minded Neil Baker, but that wouldn't have been everyone's choice, I know. But for me, and maybe I'm a bit old, maybe a little bit of nostalgia creeping in, but if not Neil Baker, I'd have liked to have seen Darren Baker to perhaps be given a go. Again, maybe I'm being a little bit of loyalty there because I like Darren as a mate, but like I say, Ant has my full support and I'm sure he'll do a great job for Leek Town. I've nearly finished. I forgot to mention Jamie Cullerton. He is now the assistant manager. He's been on the management staff all season. Can you see the groundsman down there? Anyway, he has been on the management side of things all season. And Cullo, brilliant with the media, always speaks to us, always has a little bit of time for Leek Town TV, and I believe he's a good man to have at the club. So Cullo, will Cullo carry on though? Cullo's having a baby soon. He might have even bloody had it. I don't think he has though. But will that affect his position? Remains to be seen. I hope not. And finally, we went into April, a mixed bag of results. We finished 8th or 9th. I'm not sure what position we finished in. Someone put me right, but I would say that is about right. That was probably where we are as a team. Not quite good enough to make the playoffs, but the very fact we stayed in touch and gave it a go throughout the season, the lads deserve credit, and I'm proud of the lads. I think they've done a great job, a sterling effort, and they're giving it their everything. We as supporters cannot ask for any more than that. So I am proud of what the boys have achieved, especially so when you consider the mass exodus last summer. And all that's left, I suppose, is the awards night, who's going to win what, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to try and get along. My opinion, player of the year this season, got to go for Tim Grice. He scored, is it 27? I don't know, but he scored a raft of goals. For me, that makes him a candidate for player of the season. I would also look at Niall Maguire in there. He's had a great season. And James Curley, I've mentioned him already in this little feature. James Curley, he could be good enough to win Scoop Player of the Year. They're my 3 candidates. What I've learnt this season following League Town, our second season, League Town TV, is there is never ever a dull moment. Always something going on. Always something to get your teeth into. I sometimes wonder, I'm kind of not quite on the inside, but a little bit more on the inside than the outside. Does that make sense? I think the club officials, I think they like League Town TV, but I also think they're a little bit cautious of it, which is understandable because we do put it out there. I've lost it. I've lost the email. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that is League Town TV. That is the season finished. Jim Lockett, Harrison Park. We will be back for pre-season. Any news that we can get a sniff of during the summer, providing it won't compromise the football club, we will get it out there. League Town TV is here to stay. Thanks very much for following us. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for liking us. See you again soon. Adios. And that is Blues News. Look at them characters. Stalwarts of non-league football. You got to hand it to them. And yesterday the League Lads and Dads Finals competition was played on the hallowed turf. Not yesterday, that'll be Sunday, Saturday. Just tidying up, and that pretty much is it. Thank you very much.